though in Scripture, God has revealed himself through the masculine plural. And there are aspects of God's character that we see within Scripture that do actually communicate. Jesus says that he longs to gather Israel like a mother hen collects her chicks. So we see aspects of, the feminine of God, not meaning that God is feminine, but that the image of God reflects both the masculine and the feminine. And that's why when, the two become one flesh, there's a uniting of that.
1 verse 26, it says, Vayomer Elohim, and God said, Na'aseh, let us make Adam, let us make man, B'tzalmenu kidmutenu, in our image, as or after our likeness, after our similitude. Not only is the verb to make in the plural, but so is the possessive nouns of our image and our likeness.
Hey guys, welcome. I am Rob Shiva, the spiritual philanthropist, and this is Conduition. And there's been a lot of hype going on. I've made a video also. I noticed people are kind of watching it, but okay, so my point for showing this part of the video is because if you want to discredit someone, if one thing that they say can be proven wrong, then that, therefore, just like Billy Carson, right, was dismantled, so-called, then this should dismantle Wesley Huff, okay? The reason I say this, he said that God was portrayed in the Bible in the masculine singular. But if you look further into this video, you'll see on many occasions he says masculine plural. But he went even as far as to say that God is both male and female. That alone, by saying that, gives the transgender people all the validity that they need to continue to do what they believe in. I'm just saying. I'm using the logic that's here, okay, to show you how these words, the semantics of it all, the play on the words, can have so many different meanings in the context in which they are used. But to use this strategically and try to dismantle someone and say their career is over, and the videos and the algorithms that were pushing that, there was much more behind this than just Wesley's video here. This was a lot deeper than that, guys. And let me show you something here. Hold tight while I show you this very interesting video about singular masculine, God in the singular masculine. And he studied Hebrew, Wesley, right, and Arabic and Aramaic, so he knows all these languages. Interesting enough, he didn't seem to know it that well. So guys, the reason that I wanted to show you this was that if you look at it, Wesley made a big mistake here. The word, if you don't understand, which I don't understand the writing, but I know the word is Elohim, okay, and in every context that Elohim is used, it's in the plural form, even the possessive noun of the form when this is our image, okay. You have to take that into consideration. Now, this scholar, Wesley Huff, should watch this video and talk to other scholars and linguists about the word Elohim and other words that depict God in the plural. This is something very important, and I'm not trying to dismantle him, but if he's going to use the same logic and other people are using the same logic, this pretty much dismantles Wesley Huff right here. And I'm not being funny about that or demeaning or degrading. I'm just saying, if you use the logic for what it is, it tells one story here. Okay? I'll be making other videos and putting other things up. But this is the second video that I made on this. But I had to come on here in person to make a video. If I don't record it, if I try to stream it, and I have a very powerful connection and camera and everything else and computer, but this is an ongoing problem that I have because of situations that I've been in. What I will say is that if people would watch my video in the entirety, they'll get a picture that's painted. It'll give a lot of explanations of what's going on here. Look, I have a lot of respect for each and every one up on this panel here. Wesley has gone to a school that was, I want to say, exclusive to Christians and the idea of Christian ideology. I understand he said he was born in Pakistan and grew up in Islamic areas and all these things, yeah, that says quite a bit. It does. It says quite a bit that he had the, all the writings of the other ancient religions. But when he says that that's the reason why he chose Christianity, it's very disrespectful, and it invalidates, in a way, the idea of the validity of these other religions. So that's why I'm taking the time to actually make this video, being on here in person and actually, talking about it, because I think it's a conversation that needs to happen. This conversation is extremely important. Now, Billy, on the other hand, I do agree we're all human. If he was just out of the hospital, you can see the thing in his arm there, the Band-Aid, that, he's probably wasn't prepared for any of this as well. The whole idea of this, the two scriptures or books that he spoke about in the, I guess, the ancient texts of Barnabas, and the other one is the Sinaiticus, I guess, Codex, that they were forgeries. Now, it's not only him. There are tons of people, Christians actually, that were out there quoting this stuff, even before Wesley came out and said that they were forgeries. Now, it doesn't dismiss anything, because if you look at the Bible itself, and this is not in any way intended to be disrespectful, you cannot prove, even with methodologies, that the Bible is true. Nor can you do it with the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or the Torah. The Torah, the books of Abraham and Moses, is the first books, the Old Testament. They're all the same thing. It's like, when it comes down to it, they all speak of a higher power, of a God. But there are, in history, recorded events of these supernormal, larger-than-life beings that were depicted as divine beings, And I do believe that a lot of the stuff that Billy Carson talks about with the Sumerian texts and what they touch upon, those are valid points. How do I know this? Because if you go back to Zecharia Sitchin, he was one of the first people to get notoriety for deciphering the cuneiform of the Sumerian texts and telling that story. There were people before him, but he was the one that gained a lot of notoriety at one point. Billy Carson is the second person to gain notoriety. So what they're doing, what Wesley, and I believe people are behind this, and a Christian group is behind this, most likely a powerful one, is that when you discredit him in one aspect of something that's been proven to be a forgery, they're trying to discredit him across the board. Now, he has a right to stand up for himself and say, look, I feel like I've been taken advantage of here. And I want to say that is true. The possibility is true. He's a black man coming up speaking against something that's called Christianity, that was used by white people in the early, I want to say colonizations of other countries by the Brits, who were a Caucasian race of people that went to India, China, the Middle East, and basically conquested, went there and conquest. They colonized, colonialism. They colonized these areas. They went in there with the idea of having a better religion and this white image of Jesus, and they perpetrated that. So when Billy Carson here says that I feel like something's wrong, like I've been, scammed here or taken advantage of and kind of like ganged up and bullied on, that he's right. I would not doubt this. Why? Because look at the lineage and the history. This religion has dictated so many things in the history and even in present day. It's the idea of the religion itself is what dictated who became president, based on certain laws that either fought for Christianity or against it, abortion, whether that baby is a life or it's not. So these things run very deep, man. Like I said, you can't take every little thing that these guys do and go across the board with it, with everything that person's ever done. It doesn't make any sense. And majority of the people online tend to do this, and they're being pushed into the algorithms are pushing those videos, but make sure that you get the message. I am the spiritual philanthropist. I am Rav Shiva. This is Conduition. Check out my videos. If you like them, you know what to do. See you guys in the next video, guys. Hang in there.